My name is Ayokunle Olubolade. I am one of the founding fathers for Foundation for Adequate Education, which is Foundation FAE. The first EdTech foundation in West Africa, which is Educational Technology Foundation in Africa. Just a brief intro about Foundation FAE. Foundation FAE is an EdTech, like I said, Educational Technology, Mobile Learning, M-Learning, and Edutainment Foundation in Africa. I came about the idea when I was studying in Swansea University in UK because I realized that education was fun when I was abroad. So I decided when I come back home with some set of my friends, we would come together to start a foundation that would fight for that cause of bringing educational technology into Africa. So that is what we do. The current situation in Nigeria, we all know, is actually weak. Let's be realistic. When you look at the current issues happening right now, ASU strike, bringing down the cutoff mark score for JAMB to 120, we know what is happening. Let's be realistic. It is weak. In as much as we don't like to agree, it's like a big elephant we are seeing and nobody's talking about. It is weak. In Africa, well, in some various parts of Africa, things are getting better. Places like Ghana, they're improving in their own system. Places like South Africa, in some parts, they have EdTech integrated into their system. But here in Nigeria, we don't have EdTech integrated into our system. We do not understand the value. It's as if we don't understand the value of education. What education means to the next generation, we don't understand yet. It is their duty, the government, to make education free, public, affordable to Africans. But with the current situation of what we have in Nigeria, which I'll speak of, where I live and I know about, I feel they shouldn't depend on the government, because the government, to an extent, has failed the next generation. Let's be realistic. We know, with the current things we have, the current institutions we have, the current professors, that, sorry to use the word, most are obsolete. They teach the same old course. Serious, I don't think they should. I believe they should find a way to start learning outside what they are teaching them in school. Personal learning, self-learning, just to improve themselves. Because if we keep up like this, well, I hope the future will be bright for us. Foundation for Adequate Education is an active foundation with commitment to support and provide adequate learning materials, both virtual and physical, to all institutions in Africa. At first, we started by giving physical materials to school, which is part of our vision. And then we realized that even though you go to school to give them chairs and tables and blackboards, we were not affecting the next generation mentally. We realized they still come to class and they are still bored. So that is why we integrated educational technology into it, which is what we are achieving right now. We have a website where we give students access to educational tools and materials that are not available in any Nigerian institution. Tools such as virtual simulation softwares, proofreading softwares. We also have educational materials, both for young ones and old ones. We have teaching tools. We have a lot of MOOC, Massive Open Online course online, that students can have access to gain different knowledge from what they are getting in Nigeria. And all this our virtual learning center was integrated into our app, which most students now download at various institutions here in Nigeria, and they use it to gain experience and access to things that they never had an idea that they existed before. So we are actually making progress. Now we influence them mentally. We let them see what is missing in the system. You know, I always give an example. Every time I go somewhere, a student studying computer science here and a student studying computer science in UK, there's a big gap. When you enter computer science class here in year 1, they're teaching you Fortran, which is old. In UK, your mates in year 1 already think of probably Java or Ruby on Rails. You understand? So we always tell students, look at the two sides. Go on YouTube, you see it. Courses in MIT, computer science, and maybe courses in Nigerian Institute of Computer Science. You realize that there's a big gap. So this is where we come in. We use education technology to close that gap to let them see that this is where you should be. So we're actually moving far. We have a lot of students downloading our apps and they are using it. On our website, when you get to Foundation FAU website, foundationfau.org, there is a virtual learning platform where all these educational resources and educational technology tools are. So when students come on our platform, they go to that virtual learning site and they click and have access to all these materials. There's a software which they use also, an app, on their mobile device, which gives them access to the learning on the move. They don't need to go to class before they will have access, because if you look at the generation which we are living in now, we're in the 21st generation. Most young people are addicted to their devices. You get a child of 6 years old now, you give him a book and give him a tablet. You go for the tablet first. That is what we are trying to bring to the system. In fact, that's what we are advocating for. That the federal government in Africa, most Nigeria, Ghana, Cote d'Ivoire, should all understand that there's a difference in the generation. There's a different trend now. They should allow the integration of educational technology, or BYOD, bring your device to class, so that they can also be up to date with what is happening outside there in the world. So that's what we are trying to bring to them. We have partners, we have sponsors, we have partners such as OEM Foundation. We also have partners such as Campus Touch. You understand? Motivating Africa is also there. We also have partners in Abuja. We have personal sponsors, and also we have friends who always support us. So we are never out of funds. And fortunately for us, we the trustees are quite okay. We thank the Lord. For now, we are almost a year and a half.
A year and a half?
Yes, and we've gained so much because the 21st generation kid understand what we are. So they are addicted. They want to learn more. You know, for example, let me give you an example. We give them apps such as app to stop their math assignment, Photomat. That's just an example of an app. We give them tools that they've never heard of before. So learning becomes fun to them. They are happy because, and this learning is not on a paper. It's on the device that they walk around with. So that changes the concept of learning. They find learning more intuitive now. It's something new. Unlike the old ways in which, well, most of us went through school, is just go to class, listen, just listening to your professor, gives him what he gives you at the exam. No, that's not it. Learning now has changed. Learning has evolved. We cannot keep doing the same thing. So that is what we bring to them, and they are addicted. They love it. It's normal. Some of the challenges we've had has been due to probably the technological gap, but we've covered it. For example, when we first started and we went to schools, you get to schools where you're about to have EdTech conference or EdTech seminar, and there's no light, they don't even have a laptop, the projector is not working, they don't have internet. How do you want us to pass the communication? How do you want us to pass the message? How do you want us to communicate with this young one? But now when we go with the materials, because we know that most schools in Africa lack all this technological, Wi-Fi, even electricity first is a problem. So we come prepared. We come with our devices, our Wi-Fi routers. We come with our app. We come with our projector. You understand? Because we want to catch them young. We want them to understand the essence. That's one of the challenges we face when we go to school. Another challenge we face is the ability for some institution or professor to understand what we are trying to pass. Because at times they feel EdTech is going to take their job, or are people trying to say that our students should not listen to us in class anymore? No, that's not the case. What we are saying is we want them to integrate educational technology into the system. Nobody's coming to take any job. Nobody's coming to take anyone's position. Instead, we want them to make learning more fun. Introduce blended learning, for example. You understand? Introduce flipped classroom, where the student learn at home and you do the classwork in class. Blended learning, the combination of both traditional way of learning and modern technology mixed together at once in a class. You understand? The use of collaboration tools, adaptive learning, things that excite the kid. We tell them this is the future of learning. We just have to agree. No matter how we see it, even though we don't listen now, in the next 10 years, you remember that Foundation FAE had said this in advance, that the future of learning is educational technology, mobile learning, and edutainment. That's just it. Well, to get the app, we have the app on Play Store, or you visit our website, https://www.foundationfae.org. You go to the app section, you can download it. We also have a virtual learning center online, which students can use for free. We don't charge, we're a foundation, it's free. When you get on the website or you download the app, you go to our learning center, then you see the list of educational materials we have. You click on them, and then you get access to all these educational tools. Even we have virtual simulation sites where you can have an idea of how to fly a plane, what it looks like. If you're a mechanical engineer student, you see simulation of how machines work, how an engine works. You understand? These are things that make learning fun. So they can have access to that on our platform if they want. The advice I'll give to them is never to give up, because I've been in their shoes. I understand what they are going through right now with the current situation of things in Africa, the current situation of education, especially in Africa. And I feel they should not give up, and they should try and integrate the use of personalized learning into their life. When I mean personalized, that means they should try and learn far beyond what they teach them in class. And how can they do that? They have to integrate the use of educational technology. The mobile device. Keep learning. Keep learning. Don't wait for your professor to teach you everything, because you don't even know if what your professor is teaching you is obsolete. So keep learning. Keep learning. That's the advice I'll give to them, and the future is bright.